Welcome to Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for Confessions of the Garbage People. Please welcome to the stage your host, Jen Ross.
Hello. Hi. I took your money. So I have all of your credit card numbers. So that's going to be a new garbage people story that I'm going to tell in a week when you send me Amazon shit. Hello. How's it going? Yeah, no, that's good. That was the right amount of clap. It was just one threatening clap. It's good. It's good. This show's called Confessions of the Garbage People. It's a show that I feel uncomfortable being on. I've run out of stories, thank God. What it is we have 6 people, comedians and such. They come up, and they've all written a 3 to 5 minute confession of the worst shit they've ever done. And then we all trade stories and read each other's stories. At the end, you get to guess who's the biggest piece of shit. Or who matches their piece of shit story. Well, so I think we're streaming, so this will be good. Everyone, is this okay? Any employee? You gonna get employed? No? Anyone? Does anyone want to share? Steven? No? You don't? What's the worst thing you've ever done? It's a okay. The worst. I've been on the show a few times. I've shared stories. When I was 8 years old, me and my buddy were in his backyard, and his dad had some range golf balls, and this was a very populated area of Sacramento, and we hit golf balls out of the back of his backyard with a baseball bat. Pretty safe. We may have killed someone. Another story I've had, I broke up with a girl because she looked like what's the guy? What's his name? She looked like Garrison Keillor. But I didn't realize it until someone else said it, and then I couldn't unsee it. And then I blamed it on, not that. Because that's mean. That's a very mean thing to do, right? She was also rude to me. She was, let's see, what else? What else do we got? My parents were shitty. My parents were shitty people. They were heroin addicts. Not that all heroin addicts are shitty. They were just kind of shitty and heroin addicts. There it is. Get it online. There we go. So my brothers and sisters could hear this story. This is good. This is good. My parents, my mom was a heroin addict, and she's dead now. This is a dark show, by the way. She's dead. She's dead now. But you got to stay positive. That's what comedy's about, right? Positivity. So that's why I always think like the one good thing about having a heroin addict die in your family is that you don't have to eat your cereal with a fork anymore. So that's positivity. Everyone, see, I'm healing. I'm healing before your eyes. What's happening? What about you, sir? You seem like you've done some terrible shit. Heroin also? Okay, it's a disease. Anyway. That's too much. What about you, Zach? Huh? You seem like you've done some bad stuff. Nope. You don't wear fishnet in the front and not get talked to. That's good. All right, I'll leave you alone. You're high. That's fun. All right. I get high every once in a while. I can't get high anymore because then I think everyone's a pickpocket. That's my paranoia brand. Is like everyone's either like a witch or a pickpocket. A pickpocketing, I'm like, that person a witch? And this is my wallet in my front pocket. When I go dancing. Do you like to go dancing, Seth? What's the worst thing you've ever done, Seth? Oh! Mr. Laughs. That's good. Anyway. Okay, Jesus. Send me an email. This is great. How about you? You seem very quiet. Like, what's the worst thing you've done? Yes, you can. Come on. Hot pocket. Okay. Are you just saying I look like Jim Gaffigan? Is that what that was? That I get that a lot. That's good. Anything? You once pretended. I need more. Like, all right. I was moving on, and she's like, actually, like, let's get back to this. So, where was this? This was like. You were walking home from school, and your grandma's like, honey. And you're like, Why didn't you? Why? Why? She long-winded? Tell us. No, you don't. Oh, you were embarrassed of her. Oh, man. That's rough. That's rough. Now I feel bad. See, this show isn't necessarily a comedy show. I know it's in a comedy venue. We've had some people tell stories where I'm like, fucking shit. I think we're in trouble. We're all accomplices to that. So here's something that happened. I'll share this. This is a thing I did when I was also a kid, where it wasn't murdering anyone. But so my mom, back to her, lots of stories. So my mom had fake breasts, right? God bless her. You know, she got them in the 70s though, like before, like she's a pioneer. Is what I'm saying. She died for your sins. She was, you know, and I don't know if there's any science to back this up, but I feel like the milk that I got, because she had them before I was born, I feel like the milk that I got wasn't as good as the milk that my brothers and sisters got, right? I don't know if I just feel, you know, is that too much? Is that too much to, I think maybe her titties were fracked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying, it is. I'm breastfeeding theme tonight. Again, I don't know if the milk's different. I just feel like it's, you know how you like drink bottled water, right? But then like, say if you leave that bottle of water in the car overnight, it's like hot, and then you drink that water. I feel like that's still water. Man. Yeah, BPA, breast milk. But anyway, what I'm getting to is, I've found my friends with fake breasts, they always have crazy friends, 100% of the time. And my mom was no different. She had this friend named Stephanie, and I was 12 years old, and I was sleeping in my mother's bed, and my mother was not there. She was out doing stuff. And her friend Stephanie came into the room, and she thought I was my mother in the bed. And so Stephanie goes, "Hey, Norma, I'm going to fuck Robert on the floor, okay?" Yeah, I was 12. This is before the internet. So in my best Norma voice, I was like, okay, right? I'm like, because hearing fucking in 92 is like seeing it now. You know what I mean? It's like that same, and you're 12, you're new to boners, you know what I mean? Like it's all, and so they start having sex on the floor, and they're just going for it, and I hear Robert's voice, and I'm like, wait, that voice sounds familiar. Oh, that's Robert from down the street. I know his sister. And a few months before this happened, I had learned some stuff about Robert's health history that was like making its way on in the streets. And so I don't mean to, I'm not trying to bring everyone down. This is such a hard story to tell. So we had heard that Robert had HIV, right? And they're having sex, and like I'm 12, I'm ill prepared. I don't know what to do. Do I get up and like karate chop his dick out of her? Like, do I save this woman's life? Has it happened yet? I'm just like, no. Do I spray him with water? What do I do to separate these people? But I did nothing because I was 12. Yeah, not a very good ending to this story. But I feel like it makes me a garbage person. Yeah, so I did nothing. But I do feel like that scenario I was put in, it's put me in a very exclusive group of people, I feel, in life. I feel like I'm the only person to have ever masturbated and been an accomplice to murder at the exact same time. You know, that's like, is it too real? All right. Anyway, joke update for you guys. Robert and Stephanie no longer with us. Yeah. They died in a car accident. See, happy ending. They died with AIDS, not from AIDS. And I'm not a bad guy. No one died from AIDS in that joke. You guys are very judgmental crowd. That's great. You're like, oh, using HIV is like a punchline. It's like, shut up, you know? TLC sings about it in their song, okay? So I'm the TLC of comedy is what I'm saying. Lisa Left Eye Lampanelli, that's what. All right, we're going to start this very weird show. Reading first, she's all the way back there right now. She's just waiting to come up. She's angry. No, I don't know. This is great. Please welcome to the stage, Mel Roy. Come on up, Mel Roy.
really tall. Okay. So I'm going to read you guys a little story that I didn't write. Okay. The title is Family Vacation. We didn't take many family vacations when I was young. But when we did, that meant cramming 5 shitty kids and 2 adults into a blue Dodge minivan with well over 200,000 miles on it to get wherever it was we were going. Regardless, if the trip was 150 miles or 1,500, we got there in this shitty old minivan. This particular trip was to Virginia Beach and Washington, D.C., 1,200 miles both ways from where we lived in central Iowa. We made it to Virginia Beach in just under 24 hours. My dad was the goddamn undefeated champion of lower middle class budget vacations. We only stopped to pee on the side of the road. Vans at this time were not the comfy, nice things they are now. It was small and cramped, but I was the lucky one. I was the only lucky one enough to be short enough to lay out flat on the floor and get some sleep. We stayed in a Ramada Inn right on the beach, which I thought was pronounced Ramda. Well into adulthood. I also thought at the time that a Ramada Inn was a classy hotel, mostly because we never got to stay in any hotels as kids, and I had never heard of a Ramada Inn, so it must be top-notch. The main purpose of visiting Virginia Beach was to see good friends of the family. On our last day before we would head to D.C., we went over to the house for a hangout. Not long after we got there, the adults left all the kids alone so they could go out and have actual fun without us. Now, leaving kids alone in a house for a few hours is typically not a big deal. This is not one of those houses. Within 30 minutes, I found Dad's lair, which included a collection of Civil War swords, Playboy magazines, and an open gun safe. It was heaven. My attention was immediately drawn to this amazing handmade oak chest. I went to investigate, but the chest was locked. But I had no consideration for other people's belongings. So I found a hammer in the garage and beat the shit out of the lock until I could open it. Inside, I found more porn, cigars, weed, and a mysterious felt pouch. I took a cigar and decided it was time to learn how to smoke. I lit the cigar and then tried smoking it like I had seen Arnold Schwarzenegger do in Predator. If you've ever smoked a cigar before, you know that you have to cut the closed end of the cigar so smoke can actually pass through it, which I did not do. I basically just sucked on it like a bomb pop, making fake puff sounds for 2 minutes before throwing it out a window. Not even making sure it wasn't lit. Next, I went back for the felt pouch, and inside I found this amazing silver bullet that had custom engraving on the side. I thought it was awesome, and I especially thought the felt pouch was sweet, so I put it in my fanny pack. Monster. Then I put the lock back on the chest like it wouldn't be completely obvious it was beat to hell with a hammer. Never once did I think to myself, that felt pouch was in a locked chest and has custom engravings on the side. Maybe this is important to them. No, it's mine now. This bullet was probably the last thing the poor guy had to remember his great-grandfather by, and I just zipped it up in my fanny pack. The next morning, we pack back into the van and head to Washington, D.C. to attempt to see every landmark possible in one day. This would be easily one of my least favorite days of my entire life. This vacation was in the middle of July, so it was hot as shit, and we walked all day to see as much as we could. I was not a very active kid, so I bitched and moaned all day. We saw all the big stuff, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, the Vietnam Veterans Wall, Arlington National Cemetery, just to give you an idea of how insufferable I was. When we were walking to the tomb of the unknown soldier, I said, "If this soldier is unknown, why are we walking so far to see him?" Our last stop was the White House. We walked 4 miles from the cemetery and 4 miles back to our car that was parked by the cemetery. On the way, I saw my first homeless person. This is in Iowa. I was It was a lady that was singing in front of McDonald's trying to earn money to eat. Once we were out of earshot of the woman, I said to my family, maybe she would make more money if she didn't sing. Finally, we made it to the White House and proceeded to wait in line for 2 hours to get inside. Right as we were about to get in the door, I noticed the armed security people and metal detectors at the entrance. Immediately, my stomach sank. I had completely forgotten the bullet was in my fanny pack. I panicked, and I thought, I need to get this thing the hell away from me or I'm going to jail. I considered pretending to do a big stretching yawn and hurling it as far as I could into the White House garden, but I was too close. The security guards could see me clearly. My instincts took over, and I made believe I had just seen someone drop something in front of me. I said out loud, you dropped this. I bent over like I was picking it up, handed it to the security guard, and pointed to a random person in front of us and said I had seen them drop it. They open the pouch, see that it's a bullet, and immediately haul off the person I said had dropped it. We got through security and took the White House tour. I had taken this bullet, which was probably a prized family heirloom, from a locked chest in the house of dear friends of my family. Rather than take responsibility for what I did as we were approaching the White House, I pretended I saw a stranger drop a bullet who was then taken into custody by White House security. You would think this would then cause me to feel guilt or remorse, but I didn't. My thoughts as we finished the tour and we were walking out to the car were, at least that stranger didn't have to take that super lame White House tour. The end.
Mel Roy, one more time. Yes. All right. Just to stay on premise, like that was not her story. That was one of the other people that are going to be reading. We're going to remember that story as a true patriot. That's what we're calling that one, a true patriot. All right. Our next reader, he's coming to the stage right now. Please give a hand to Mr. Colin Waters.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out. This is super cool. You guys all came out. All right. So this is called Shitty Thanksgiving Orgy. All right. I used to have this gross boss who was always hitting on me, trying to get me to come out for drinks and hang out, and when I'd say no thanks, they would be totally shitty to me for days at the office. And then stalker level text me after work, like hundreds of texts and phone calls about how much they just needed someone to talk to, trying to make me feel guilty when I declined. For a few days, they would totally ignore me at work, super shitty. They'd bring up stuff like I took a long lunch a week ago, but I need to make up the time now, and they forgot to tell me when it happened. Then I heard that they were spreading rumors about me, just really shitty behavior. Are they the garbage people? Like, I'm not sure what's... We'll find out. The day before Thanksgiving, some coworkers invited me over to hang out with them and their family. So totally cool. I tell you this because I find out that this shitty boss had these people invite me. And when I arrived, he was there grinning like, hi. And I'm like, whatever. I'm here with the other people. It can't be that bad. Well, the hosts want to play a drinking game. And the family that's there isn't like their out-of-town grandparents. It's just another middle-aged dude. So we're playing the stupid drinking game, and I noticed that the rules keep changing. I noticed that I am the only person taking all the drinks. I'm pretty fucked up, shit-faced on amaretto shots, lol. And the host takes me to the guest room to rest. I'm still not sure. I mean, I don't like where this is headed. Since I had driven, I was staying. Like, I can't leave. But instead, they take me to this master suite, and there's a jacuzzi tub and a huge glass shower. And I'm like, Force him, I guess. Whatever, why not? So, everyone's been licking and sticking and whatever. Whatever. I let the host eat my ass and then got them to kiss my gross boss. Full tongue kiss. Whew. It's a crazy. This is the best Thanksgiving ever. But what they didn't know was earlier that day I had a bout of the whiz shits. You just like shit whiz cheese? Like what is Okay. At a gas station bathroom. And I hadn't been home to shower before going over there. Instead, I cleaned up with those body wipes. I had not planned on getting involved in sex. So, absolutely a garbage person. You could even say I was a shitty person. The end.
Colin Waters, one more time. So, I was going to call that story cranberry sauced, but we're calling it whiz shits. That's whiz shits. TZ. Okay. All right. Are you ready? You see, it gets a little hairy. These stories get a little, you're like, what is happening? All right. Next, coming to the stage. He's standing right there. Look at him, everyone. Look at him. It makes him uncomfortable. Please welcome to stage Buddy. It's Buddy.
I'm glad the person who wrote this thought that like a really old woman was gonna read it, and they wrote it in like 30 size font. Okay, so story goes April 19th, early 2000s at around 9 p.m. Very specific. My friends and I were standing in front of the mall entrance waiting for John to come back with the acid he said he could get. John was apparently full of shit because we never saw him again. Ever, actually. After an hour or so of waiting, it was finally sinking in that we weren't getting any acid that night. One of my friends, Joe, pointed out that 3 other kids who were a few years younger than us, probably all around the age of 15, they had also been standing around pretending they weren't waiting for a drug dealer. These kids were clearly stoners, and we safely assumed they were just looking for some weed. The 3 of us walked back to our car and came up with a plan to make sure the night wasn't a total loss. I pulled up to them and at the sidewalk with our windows rolled down. Joe called out for them and from the back passenger side seat. "Hey guys, you're waiting for John too, aren't you?" They confirmed they were. "Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. You're looking for weed though, right?" They confirmed and said they wanted a quarter. And wouldn't you know it, Joe just happened to have exactly 1 quarter left on him, which was exactly just a Ziploc bag with some markers in it, rolled up tightly so you couldn't see what was really in it. He began to wave it around from the darkened back seat. "This is good stuff, and you can check it out, but I'm not handing anything over until you give my friend in the front seat the money to hold on to. I'm fat and I can't be chasing you through the parking lot. It's just got to be this way. I've been robbed before." The kids we were about to rob were very sympathetic. He had no problem. He had no problem letting our friend in the front seat hold the money while he checked out the weed to make sure it wasn't just a bag of markers or something. He began to hand the money to my friend, who was ironically named Rob. Rob began to count 10, 20, 40, 60. As soon as he said 60, I hit the gas. However, we were in a 1988 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra that sometimes had to be started with going under the hood and jamming a screwdriver into the starter. And our takeoff wasn't that quick. For a while, he kept up with the car as we slowly gained speed. This must have been on track. He must have been on the track team or something because he managed to jump halfway into the car through the passenger side window. Wow. Still screaming for us to give him his money back. After seeing Rob pull back to punch him and realizing he was defenseless and being driven further and further away from his friends, he decided to just push his way back out of the window and went rolling off to the night. I felt bad that we not only stole their money, but also robbed them of celebrating 420 the next day. To add further insult to injury, we didn't even give them the markers. As a fellow stoner, I still cringe when I think about it. I smoked in their honor with the weed we bought with their money. Of course, they had no way of knowing that, so I'm sure it was of little to no consolation. Yeah.
Buddy. Yeah, you could check him out. When's the next show here, buddy? What's the name of it? Dr. Buddy Love. All right, we'll come back next Friday and see his show. Yeah, you can give him a hand. Yeah, go ahead. That's all good. All right, we're going to call that story Drug No Deal. Drug No Deal. That's what we're going to call that one. All right, you ready for your next reader? Please welcome to stage. He's back there next to the bathroom like a creep. Joey Joffrey, right there.
I am a creep. Good call, John. That was fucking spot on. All right. So, here we go. That's right. 'Twas I who clogged the stab toilet. Just kidding, but let's talk about poop. So last year I was working 2 jobs. In the mornings I did this nature tour job, and in the afternoons I had just been trained to teach an after-school program. Different school each day of the week. And I'm at this one job on the first day at the first school. I just started taking this medication to help with digestive issues. I was supposed to take it with food. What I didn't know was that if I didn't take it with solid food, it would dissolve in my stomach and wait there, and once I ate, it would all absorb at once, and I would immediately have to take an aggressive bowel movement. That's wonderful. Seems like the doctor probably should have told you that, but whatever. Not knowing this, I took the medication, forget breakfast, but drank 2 cups of coffee, ran around during giving nature tours, left and picked up a large lunch with more coffee, drove to the school, and ate it all while I waited for school to end. So the bell rings, and all the kids show up to the room I'm supposed to be set up in. This is an actual teacher's classroom, and apparently no one had informed the teacher that their room was going to be used as an after-school session for my little program. They hesitantly let me come in and set up, but made clear that I needed to treat the room nicely and leave it how I found it. It's not going to end out well. Oh, shit. Literally, I think. I picked up the kiddos, took roll, and made sure I had everyone. They're mostly kindergartners, and they're bouncing off the walls. I keep having to make them sit down so I can finish roll. Eventually, I finished and explained the plan of the day. We were building a Lego starship or something, so the kids were in heaven. I would have too. Lego spaceship sounds fucking amazing. I would totally be into that. I relaxed thinking, okay, this is easy. I'm pretty good at this. I can control them. After about 10 minutes, I need to poop. And that's when I fully realized I was the only adult in the room. There are no adults in this classroom next to me. I can't leave the kids alone in the room because they will for sure break something, and the school won't let me come back, and I'll get fired. Also, I didn't even know where the adult bathroom is, and the campus is mostly closed, and there is probably a key to get into any area with any adult bathroom. In my defense, I made it most of the way through the class without shitting my pants. That's good. Kudos to you. It was actually 45 minutes later. I would have never made it that long. 45 minutes later, 10 minutes before parents were supposed to be picked up. We had just started cleaning up. I realized I can't wait 10 minutes, and I have to find a bathroom. I tell my students, everyone needs to come with me outside now. I'm feeling sick. They freeze and stare at me with wide eyes. I say, now. And then they scurry to the door, leaving everything where they found it, and I am walking to the door when I just let loose. Now for a word from our sponsor. Do you get cold when you're a nature guide in the greater Sacramento area? Costco's fleece lined jeans will keep you warm. Do you want the comfort of pajamas when you're out in public? Costco fleece jeans will keep you cozy. Do you shit yourself in public? Costco fleece jeans will act like a giant cloth diaper, only $17.99, available in bulk. So I don't think this is the first time this has happened to this person. So I'm walking and shitting, visibly sweating. I'm walking and shitting, visibly sweating, and there is one parent outside who got there early. I calmly scream, that's a misnomer, and again I feel sick. And they say they'll watch the kids. So I walk to the front office, which is locked. I jiggle the handle and knock. The lights are out. I take inventory. I am going to have to throw out not only my fashionable and sporty Costco fleece line jeans, $17.99, but also my socks and shoes. The saving grace is I don't appear to be leaving a trail yet. I can't be sure. So bad. I walk back to the classroom. Mind you, the office is visible from the classroom, so everyone watching me walk over the office stands still for several minutes and just sort of waddle back. The kids are mostly gone. I have a blank sign-out sheet. I'm basically just hoping no one was kidnapped. Also, the door to the classroom locks automatically, so the teacher is going to come back to school Monday, oh yeah, this is Friday, by the way, and find desks all pushed to the side and a giant pile of Legos and, potentially 3-day-old puddle of diarrhea. I can't do anything about it. I call my company's office and tell an abbreviated version of this. I took a gamble and I explained I needed to poop, and I implied that I had found a bathroom and then had been locked out. Hopefully, I had not left any evidence to prove the opposite. Me too, dude. That's shit. I lay a towel on the seat of my car. I go home, get a trash bag, and undress in the shower, throwing everything I'm wearing in the bag. Honestly, that's probably the best way you could have solved that. I don't know any other way you would have handled that. Fuck, I lost my place. I'm sorry. All right, in the bag. I shower repeatedly and dispose of all evidence. They said not to worry about it, and they'd send someone to pick up the supplies Monday morning. One of two things happened at this point. Either I got away with it and no one ever knew, or more likely, the parents, teacher, janitor, and my boss all communicated and figured out exactly what happened, and they were nice enough not to call me out on it. When I returned to the school the following week, 3 kindergartners are missing from my class. Turns out they didn't understand what had happened, and they were terrified they were going to catch whatever I had, and had sobbed to their parents until they promised they didn't have to go anymore. And that is pretty fucking horrible.
Joey Jeffrey. One more time. We'll keep it going. All right. I kind of feel bad. This doesn't make you a garbage person for that happening to you. We've all done that, I think. We'll call that one Fleecies. Fleecies. All right. This next comedian, very funny. You can see her all over town with the Comedians with Invisible Disabilities Act. Welcome to the stage, Amber Whitford. I'm on top of it tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for lowering the mic. You guys listen, this story, I am not this person, but okay, I used to be a teacher, and this story, for some reason, isn't, I don't believe you. This story isn't the reason that I no longer teach, but honestly, it should be. Oh, goodness. I was a theater teacher, and while working there was a family with 3 students, all in each in one of my classes. Oh, my goodness. They were raised by their mother, and their family was absolutely insane, it says here. They were actually on Super Nanny, so obviously insane. 2 of the 3 kids would make inappropriate sexual advances. Uh-oh. That sounds scary. What kind of sexual advances are appropriate for teenagers to make towards people? I need the okay. Goodness. I guess it turns out this is normal for theater teachers because theater kids. Is this your story? Theater kids are, for some reason, unusually horny. So at one point, one of the girls was stripped down to nothing in a prop closet and sent one of her friends to come get me. This sounds terrible, and I'm really concerned about everybody. I spoke with this young woman. This I got to know the mother, that they were being raised by their mother. I got to know this mother. Turns out she's single, ready to mingle. Now, obviously, we know what's going on with the daughter, right? The two daughters, the sexually inappropriate daughters. Because if you come over and you say your daughter committed possibly a crime today and made sexual advances at her teacher, the answer isn't like, let's go on a date. That's never the answer. That comes up, that's not the answer, okay? You guys don't do it. So obviously, I'm the teach. Okay, wait, hold on. Me and this slutty mom, we hook up. We're having a sexual relationship for a while now. It's a total nightmare I don't know. What kind of sexual nightmares are happening? Is the sex scary? Or is, the relationship itself is a nightmare? I don't know what's going on. But so this story is making me really sad. But months go by, and things seem to settle down. I don't know what you mean by that, but I don't like it. And the eldest daughter walked in on them having sex one night. That doesn't seem settled to me. Oy. So this young lady now, she saw her mom boning the teacher that she was trying to bone. The needy slut doesn't far. What does it go? The needy slut apple doesn't fall far from the needy slut tree. Okay, yes. I know all about this. My mother was a teen mom. Listen, I know all about this, how this works. So here we are. The daughter's pissed because they're hooking up. So she runs away, and now they have to explain to the police why their daughter has run away. They include the story about the closet stripping. They include the story about this young lady making advances and walking in on sex. I feel like you guys should have left all of that out and just said, she's run away, go find her. Simple. Whew. So, they broke it off, and he thought everything was fine. I think everything's fine now. So this young lady comes by. I see her smoking weed with her friends. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I think, I don't want to get involved with these people again. So I sneak out. And I'm like, okay. I didn't see anyone smoking weed on school grounds. But what happened was, it was a setup. These bitches were recording me the whole time. So now they're blackmailing me. They want, what do they want? Taco Bell. They want, drugs, more drugs. Don't buy more drugs for the drug addict kids that are blackmailing you about allowing them to, come on. You shouldn't be a teacher because you're an idiot. So this is, so now I'm going to call the mom again. He's pretending like he's going to call the mom because he needs some help. But mostly, he was trying to hook up, We all know what was going on. So, mom says, I got you. I'm going to take care of this. Because, the only thing tougher than a young hoe is an old hoe. So, mama took care of it. But I blocked everything that she could find me on social media. Never again, right? And I moved so they'll never, ever, ever be able to find me. And I want you to know that, yes, I'm a bad person. Not only did I have sex with a legal age teenage student of mine, yeesh, and her mother, while her sisters watched. That's not written, but I wrote that. I said that. And so now I did all of these terrible things, and I also ghosted this young person, like a serious supreme ghost, moving away, so now they can't find me. I haven't changed my name. Nobody can find me. But I do, that's the whole story. But I have a comment. I want you to think really long and hard about this, whoever's story this is. You've ghosted this person is what you think. But you blocked them on social media, so now you can't see what they're saying about you online. Everybody knows that you hooked up with them, their mama, the cop that came by. Everybody knows. Sorry. No, I'm the most garbage person here for that. Thanks, guys. I'm Amber. Come back, John.
Amber, when's your next show? Where's it at? Oh, you don't have.
Next show is February 8th at the Starlit Room Comedy Burger.
Okay. It's over. All right. Yeah. Go check that out. We're going to call that story, regular Pornhub thing. That just seems like a very tame story for what's online. Very good. All right. Are you ready for your final reader of the night? And then, all right. Please welcome to the stage Mr. David Coleman.
All right. I love this story. I hope I can do it justice. This is wonderful. When I was in college, a group of not even that close, but about to be much closer friends and I thought this would be funny. So we had this pillowcase. I don't even remember who started this sick game, but it got out of hand very quickly. I suppose it started when one of us was having sex, and the pillowcase was the closest thing within reach to serve as a cum rag. Okay, the normal not garbage thing to do would be to do some post-coital snuggling, have some pillow talk, get dressed, toss that bad boy in the wash to see the light of another day. That is not what happened to this particular pillowcase, however. This one is autographed in Sharpie right above the stain there. And in doing this, the pillowcase transcends its banal purpose to gently lay betwixt your sleeping visage and the pillow beneath you. It even transcends the promotion to cum rag. The pillowcase is now a living art installation. So said friend shows other friend, let's call them friend two, this piece of art. And it is quickly determined that this is truly a blank canvas waiting to be filled with the cum stains of as many different people as possible. Friend two thinks it would be a great idea to add to it, so the pillowcase changes hands, and the next time friend two is having sex, out comes the pillowcase, posing as an innocent cum rag. I think you see what is happening here. After several months, this veritable Jackson Pollock of cum stains has passed through the hands of 6 different friends. Oh my God. Who between them have added more than a dozen of their lovers' signatures, if you will. And each of their names are written over their respective works. Now, set aside the fact that this is unimaginably unsanitary. I don't even want to think about the diseases being carried on that thing. The details are a little fuzzy at this point, and honestly, so was the pillowcase. But what really gets me is that by now this thing was basically standing on its own. So it couldn't just be casually brought out anymore as a simple, modest cum rag you had laying around. And this is where I come in, pun intended. I had started dating one of the artists that one of my friends had already immortalized on the Sistine Chapel. I wanted for some god-awful demon-possessed reason to double bill that person onto this standing shrine of lovers past. I thought it would be hilarious. So the piece transfers to my hands, and me and my new lover are getting to it when I casually drag out this sad excuse for cum rag, acting like they wouldn't notice that it looked and felt exactly like the Berlin Wall. Naturally, they were like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like, "Oh, this?" And I had to decide in that moment whether I was going to lie, and if so, about which part. If this is my cum rag that I keep all of my past lovers on and sign and date each part, then that is some real serial killer shit. I could say that it's each time my cat had vomited. I worry about your cat's health. I found it on the street. It's a family heirloom. The options are abysmal. So I decided the best thing to do is to tell the truth. So I told them this pillowcase was the cumulative effort of a dedicated network of friends who decided it would be funny to memorialize cum stains. And not only that, but there's yours right there. Y'all, I got them to consensually double bill themselves on that thing. I'm not sure who the biggest garbage person is in that story, but I think it's that one friend who kept that crusty pillowcase in their closet for the next several years. Legend has it, it's still standing there to this day.
All right, one more time for David Coleman. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything better than Justine Chapel, so that's the name of that story. I was like Shroud of Turin. What do we, like? No, that's not working. Okay, pillow facial. I don't know. That's not okay. Let's bring all the comedians back on the stage. Mel Roy, come on back. Colin Waters, Buddy, Joey Joffrey, Amber, and then David. Okay, now we're gonna reveal who's. I don't want to know who's that last one was. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start from the beginning here. I'll walk in front of the person who you're supposed to. If you think that's their story, you clap. It's very Nickelodeon-ish. Okay. All right, the first story. That was. God, what was the name of that one? True Patriot. True Patriot. Who do we believe is the person that got the person arrested for the bullet? You can clap if you think it's. All right. Wow, no one is overcommitting to shit. There's like, I don't know, it's all of them probably. Yeah. All right, who's our true patriot? Who's the one that did it? All right. He's wearing the camouflage hat. There you go. That's good. All right, you can go off stage. You garbage person. The next one, Whiz Shits. Do we remember that one? Whiz Shits? Whiz Shits, that's the one it was the orgy during Thanksgiving and the really terrible, Me Too story, basically. It was that we all listened to. All right, who's do we think of that? Whiz Shits? Oh, my God. Amber. Joey. Like, no one would fuck that guy in an orgy. That's David. All right. Who's Whiz Shits? That's your new nickname, Amber. Whiz Amber. Very good. Which? Woo! Very good. Next story we're revealing is the drug no deal, the people that stole from other people. All right, who we think didn't sell, spent other people's money? Who? Right here. Oh, buddy. You seem like a thief. Joey. And David. Oh! You look very honest. Okay. All right. Who's the thief? Okay. Yeah. All right. Very good. One more time. Very good. All right. The next story. Let's see. That's the one that Amber wrote. No. Let's see. Which one was it? Shit. Fleece. Oh, the Fleecies. Fleecies. Shitting themselves in a kindergarten class. Right. That's all right. You're getting all the votes. It's so weird. Yeah. All right. They're like, that guy is not allowed around children. He's not. David. Fleecies. All right. Here's the big moment. Okay, the two we have left, that would be the Jizteen Chapel, and then the regular like Pornhub story about having sex with a mom, and they said a legal student, not an illegal age student, right? Please, okay. Jizteen Chapel. Who's Jizteen Chapel? Very good. And Buddy, the generational fucker of us all. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out to Confessions of the Garbage People. We try to do this once a month. One more time for everyone you saw tonight. Mel Roy, Colin Waters, Buddy, Joey Jeffrey, Amber, Wiz Shits, Whitford, and David Coleman. I've been your host, John Ross. Thank you very much. If you want to stick around for the Stab podcast, you're welcome to. If not, get the fuck out of here. All right, bye. Thank you.